Coach, you guys played so well in that first quarter. So that said, but did their zone really disrupt your rhythm down the stretch?
Yeah, I mean, I thought we just got stagnant against it. We were great in the first half against it. Probably the best we've played all year against the zone, and obviously been zoned quite a bit by these guys and Brooklyn. And when we really move it and get it quickly, either through the middle to the second side or just a simple pick where we drive and penetrate and get it to the second side, we're pretty good. They dare you to shoot those shots in the middle, and with their length, it's a good dare, and you usually aren't successful, and we missed a ton of those. We've got to make sure that we're a little bit more purposeful and getting a great one and not staring. I think sometimes when you tense up a little bit because they're coming back, you have a tendency to stare. The ball starts bouncing a little bit more, and you're not getting it side to side with as good a movement as you need to against the zone.
We saw Marcus Smart, on the bike, and then you waited a long time in the fourth quarter. Are those related, or is it a decision in the fourth quarter to put him back in?
No, I just thought Terry had a decent amount of burst there and didn't want to play the three guards together. I did that a little bit maybe in the first, just for a little stretch. So I decided to stay with Terry for a little bit longer. So unrelated.
Al finished with a triple-double. Just how valuable is his the well-roundedness that he brings?
I mean, it's big, and I thought that, obviously he played in the middle of that zone a lot, and I thought when he did, we were at our best. But he, I don't think we can overstate his importance to our team.
Coach, that in the fourth, with about 3-4 minutes left in the game, that stretch where you got 3 or 4 offensive rebounds, Kyrie and Al, is that again a testament to the grit and the resilience?
I hope so. I hope so. Those are big plays. That's one of the things against the zone when things aren't going your way is if you've moved it well, they're usually in a mode where they have to really work hard to block out, and so you should be able to get some offensive rebound opportunities. But if it's one pass and eye up a shot, it's a little bit harder because they're already just set in their positions. So again, I thought that we didn't do a great job attacking that in the second half, which was frustrating because usually you get better as the game goes on. But I think there will be a lot to look at and a lot to improve upon.
Brad, obviously good first quarter and kind of just grinded the last 3. Are you more proud of just kind of holding off a team that they have a lot to play for, they weren't going to give up, they weren't going to, pull back, or disappointing?
Not as much for that. But Gary, we needed to have one of these where things were really going against us, and we just found a way, right? And unfortunately, we've had 2 of these against these guys at home. But that's what they do. They keep coming. They're really hard playing. They're really well coached. And like I said about the zone, I thought we just got stagnant. We showed that we can play great against it, and then we just slowed down a little bit too much.
Coach, 2 out of 3 games now where Kyrie's put home a pretty big basket off the drive to the basket. What can the team as a whole learn from that, and how successful that's been to give you guys a couple of really important wins here down the stretch?
You mean the one where he got the blocking foul? Is that what you're – yeah, I mean, it was a big play. Obviously a huge play when it goes from 3 to 6 like that. But he's one of the best scorers in the league. When he puts on those jets in transition, he's hard to keep from where he wants to go.
Is there anything to read into that, though? The couple of big baskets have come with you guys driving to the rack rather than –
Yeah, but I'm not sure everybody's got his jets. So I don't think it's something everybody should try at home. Or, a lot of guys in the NBA shouldn't try it either.
Bam Adebayo had a big game. Another guy, another big, catching alley-oops a lot against you guys. What's happening defensively that allows these bigs to keep catching those lobs on you?
Yeah, so I mean we've given up a lot less of those when we've played double big, but I'll go back and look and see when they came and why they came. But they do a good job of setting up what we would call single side bump actions, where they have a shooter in the corner and a big rolling down the sideline, and there's no other help unless you pull over from the strong side. A lot easier said than done. We have to clean up that, and that'll be a great test for Wednesday, right? I mean, this is like a playoff prep in a lot of ways. We're not going to play Miami in the first round, but I think ultimately, when you play a team back to back that's superbly coached and has a lot of really good players and can go a lot of different options, like they can play big, they can play small, they've got a couple guys out that might play. Like, you got to be ready for everything, and so this will be a really good opportunity to almost have a mini playoff-like game on Wednesday night.
You noted how you can't really overstate the importance of Al to your team.
Yeah.
Why have the minutes without him lately gone so poorly for you guys, and what do you need to do to kind of clean those up?
It's a really good question. We have to play a lot better without him. I think that some of that stuff might be sample size, but there's enough there that we need him, right? So we do have to figure out a way to clean it up and play better when he's not on the floor. And there's a lot of things that go with that. I mean, he's so good on both ends, and he does everything on the stat sheet.
Just going back to the 2-3 zone, Brad, obviously the Heat and the Nets, they play a lot of it anyway, but just with the playoffs approaching, do you see zone in general is something teams are going to go to?
Yeah,
more?
Teams have done that occasionally in the playoffs. It just kind of depends on what you like to do and how much you're comfortable with that, how much you've practiced it, how much you've done it. These guys have played it all year. Brooklyn's played it all year. Not a lot of teams have played it as much as those two teams, but certainly this is all great work and film for that. There's no doubt. We played it at stretches 2 years ago in the playoffs against Chicago especially, but played it a little differently, and I think you want to have little things like that, but at the end of the day, most teams are going to be who they are most of the year. But you got to be ready for everything. Thank you.